Football.
Restart.
Dang it, come on.
Football. Okay, ready?
Football. Okay, Ben.
Welcome back to the studio. My name's Ivey, and I'm joined here with.
Micah McGoy.
Luke Kolar.
And Jack Reed.
Let's go around to say our favorite teams. Eagles fan, sad Eagles fan, to say the least.
I'm a Seahawks fan.
I'm a Dolphins fan, and I run a 4.07.
All right.
Okay, faster than Tyreek.
Fan. Go Pack, go.
That was the lamest thing.
Wow, that was something else.
Keep going. But
So how we doing today?
good.
Doing good. Doing good.
Yes,
good.
sir.
How y'all feel about that Super Bowl that just happened?
I feel bad about it. I don't like it.
You only feel bad because
I
you
don't
don't like Taylor Swift.
I don't not like Taylor Swift. I don't want another back-to-back. I don't want another New England Patriots winning every other
That's
Super Bowl.
fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, they've won.
I don't think they'll win
3 in the
next.
past 5 years, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
But I said the Cowboys would win the Super Bowl. We saw that.
Yeah, the Cowboys.
The thing is, I said that it was gonna be 49ers Chiefs, but I said 49ers were gonna win.
Dang. If
Yeah.
you would have picked it, that would have been crazy.
I should have bet money at the beginning of the season.
That
For
would have been.
49ers
That would have been a
Chiefs.
good.
That would have been good.
I want to start out with a good topic. This is one I've seen on every single major sports broadcasting system.
Feeling I know
Do
what
we
you're saying.
think Patrick Mahomes will catch up to Tom Brady in the GOAT race
No.
Easily?
within the next 5 years?
Nope.
I don't think.
Absolutely
He's gonna win at least another Super Bowl.
Here, I want to go around and hear the perspectives. Abe, I want to start with yours.
I think personally, he's already in the conversation because he's just that good. But I think for him to be considered one of the greatest of all time, he's got to win at least one more Super Bowl.
I think he's not there yet. Until he wins 7 Super Bowls, he's not there.
Sorry about that. Little
So,
bell.
Patrick has a few Super Bowls already. I don't think he's going to have the longevity of a career that Tom Brady had. Tom Brady played football for a really long time. I don't think Patrick will play for as long, but I think he's in game a much better player. On paper, maybe not, but in game, I think he's better than Tom Brady. I don't know if he's going to have as decorated of a career as Tom Brady.
I think
See,
as well. I think as well when you look at the two players and the two different scenarios that they're in. I mean, a lot of people like to make the similarities of, well, they both have star tight ends, and I agree with that. Except the only difference is when Tom Brady played is a lot different. Tom Brady in his prime at New England was a lot different than Patrick Mahomes in the NFL that is taking place currently. It's very different. I mean, even look at the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl has gone from a game where it's like actually physical, the best players playing, to
Flag football.
and who can make a kick the farthest. And
And they scored like 120 points combined at the Pro
That
Bowl.
was pretty crazy.
The thing is, Patrick Mahomes is only 28 years old. He already has 3 Super Bowls and 2 MVPs.
That's true.
That's insane in its own right. And if he doesn't, I think he's already easily a top 10 quarterback of all time.
so do you think he'll ever leave Kansas City?
No.
No.
I think he's top 10. I just don't think
I
he's
think the only
GOAT.
reason he leaves Kansas City if it's an Aaron Rodgers situation where he just doesn't see his worth there anymore, and then he's just like, I gotta have a change.
I think that was his first actual Super Bowl. That was
Really?
yeah.
Not him coming back from down 10 points, the 49ers the first time?
No, because he had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. I just think that this first Super Bowl he actually did something. All you have to do is just throw the ball down, screw it Tyreek down. Tyreek's on somewhere.
Okay, well then why isn't the Dolphins, why didn't they perform better this season?
Because they didn't have the team that the Chiefs had. The Chiefs had a great offensive line. They had Travis Kelce. They had Tyreek Hill. They had Sammy
I
Watkins.
agree. I agree with you on some stint, but I like to bring up the concept of what I call a super team. And when you put a quarterback on a super team, I think the Ravens were really good this year, but the reason we'll talk about this later. The reason I think Lamar Jackson won it is because I think Lamar Jackson was one of the biggest pieces part of that team.
Easily.
The 49ers got the Super Bowl not because of Brock Purdy being the center of that team. I think definitely he's good and he's outmeasured what he did in the draft. I don't believe he's as good as some of these other guys, especially compared to Patrick Mahomes. I think you could put Patrick Mahomes on any team, and he's most likely bringing them close to a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
maybe not winning it.
I think Mahomes would won MVP this season because if the MVP came through the playoffs, he ran the gauntlet.
That's why he won Super Bowl. MVP,
he beat the best team in the NFL, the Ravens. He beat the Dolphins in like one of the coldest games ever. He beat the Bills in Buffalo, and then beat basically the Avengers and the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Didn't have a true wide receiver one. Didn't really have a true wide receiver didn't have a true running back. Only had one tight end that he's known and throws the ball to a lot.
You don't think Pacheco's a true running back?
No, he definitely is.
I think Pacheco is going to be at Kansas City for the next 5 years at least.
He's good. He's a good running back for that
He runs
system. Because they don't run the ball a lot.
He runs like he's in jeans.
That's a good.
No, he's a good running back for that Kansas City team because yes, he can run the ball, but he can also go out there and catch the ball.
Yeah, he's pretty much a wide receiver too.
Yeah.
I want to bring it up just because we're on this topic. How long, Jack, if you're saying you can't see a true wide receiver, how long do you think Kansas City can last being somewhat of a dynasty of what they are now?
Not long.
Not long?
No. Because people will start to figure out Mahomes.
Okay, so now we got to think.
The only reason Brady was good is because he had a good offensive line every year, and he could stay in the pocket and throw the ball.
He was probably the most accurate quarterback.
Most
probably
accurate
of all
player, but
time.
he could just stand in the pocket and throw the ball. Mahomes runs around. He's going to get hurt eventually. I mean, it's kind of obvious. I mean, that happens to everyone. Like Anthony Richardson, he runs around. And
He got hurt last year in the Super Bowl and still won it against the Eagles.
He did.
Although I still think that is
Don't bring that up.
I think that is still a very controversial Super Bowl.
I just
that
think
holding play was very controversial in my opinion. I do not believe.
But that
was
happens.
holding.
That everyone is always going to have something wrong with something in the game, and that's just people just got to live with that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 49ers, they had it. I mean, they had the team to win. They had a great defense, great offensive line, probably one of the best running back, the best running back in.
And that's why it was a close game.
The best player in the league.
And they had a lead.
Wouldn't have been a close game if they didn't block the extra point or whatever.
Yeah, that's the only reason that game went into overtime.
They would have won the game
That
if
is
they
true.
didn't do that.
Yeah.
So Abe, you were gonna say something. What were you gonna say? I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh, I was just saying, don't bring up that Eagles Super Bowl.
Oh. Here, okay. My next kind of topic I've been looking and seeing a lot is the upcoming draft. What teams do you think performed better this year that will probably be Super Bowl contenders? And I kind of want to start with my pick. I definitely think the Texans will be either close to the Super Bowl or in the AFC Championship next year.
I don't think this team is going to make the Super Bowl within the next 3 years, but give them a second to develop. The Bears are sitting really pretty right now.
Nope.
They have 2 picks in the top 10. They have 2 picks in the top 10. They're going to keep Justin Fields, who is their.
Absolutely not. The Packers will run them for the rest of my life. They haven't beat us in 5 years.
The
Y'all have Jordan
Lions ran
Love.
y'all all year, so I'm
We
not
beat
sure.
them on Thanksgiving, actually. So
Well,
Thanksgiving?
they don't
Yeah.
win
Did y'all
on
make
Thanksgiving?
How far did y'all go in the playoffs?
second round, we beat the second seed. We're the first 7 seed to beat the second seed.
It was the Cowboys. They're like,
and we came
The Cowboys, they don't play in the playoffs. You should know this.
And we came close to being the 49ers with no wide receiver one, all rookies, basically. And we had no offensive line, basically, and a defense that's very
Let me
young.
just-
So that's, I think the future that is really bright.
let me just say this about what I think league outlook. I think definitely for the AFC, I'm going to say these 4 teams that I think will most definitely probably be there. Still putting the Chiefs in that category. I don't see the Chiefs falling
fair.
out of that category.
That's fair.
The next one I put in, and this is belief as a Dolphins fan, I believe it is the Dolphins, but next year is all or nothing. I truly believe that is. Tyreek's probably only going to be with us. I think his contract
I
only goes
agree.
one more year.
The exact same for the Eagles. If they don't perform, if they don't at least get to the NFC Championship, they just need to restart.
I believe the Texans will definitely. They have ample amount of draft picks coming up now.
I think it's all or nothing for Tua.
I don't believe it's all or nothing for Tua. I think we'll stick with Tua for 2 or 3 more years. But Tyreek Hill is leaving, and we are negative $52.9 million in cap space right now. So there's no one else we can really just convert to and then make it better. But I definitely think it is the Chiefs. They've been running the AFC for the last 4 years almost. The Dolphins,
Oh, I have another one.
the Texans,
I already know what you're
and I definitely think the Ravens will come back
Who do you think I'm going to say?
next year.
Probably the Chargers.
No, I think the Jets.
Okay,
Aaron Rodgers
will
is
be
going to
good.
be back.
I was
They
just
have a
looking
pet
at that.
Season lasted 75 seconds.
Yeah, great. He's going to be back. He's going to be better than ever because he believe it or not, he hated Green Bay.
What's he gonna do to get better? Go to like some woods in Cameroon and live in like
He's already-
a hole for.
He's
He
already
already-
out of
he
the
already did
IR.
that.
He's gonna be practicing with his team. He's gonna be learning the playbook with his team, which I guarantee he did not know the playbook as well as he is going to know it next season.
I think the top
Yeah,
four
true.
teams in the AFC are still. I think the Ravens.
and they still won 7 games.
I don't.
did. That's true.
I agree with. I believe the Jets will definitely be a good team next
think
year.
the
I
te-
don't think they will
their
be an
defenses-
AFC contender.
I think the team that'll be bad.
I'm
next
not
year is
saying
defense is
Super
crazy.
Bowl. I'm saying these teams can sneak up to
Yeah,
a playoff spot or go as far as the championship game.
yeah, I agree with that.
I think the Jets could make the playoffs. Their defense is insane.
I think a team that has no excuses is the Chargers.
Justin Herbert's not that
the-
good.
I believe
What?
that is a bad statement.
What?
I believe
I think I have.
the Chargers have had some of the worst coaching that I think I've ever watched.
That's true.
In,
That's
in
true.
football.
They got John
ever.
Harbaugh.
Now they have Jim Harbaugh, and this is the big reset. This is the time where once again it's kind of an all or nothing kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, like you've got like the greatest, like a really good wide receiver, one in Keenan Allen. You've got Austin
Yeah.
Eckler, who's one of the
Yeah.
best running backs. in the league. You got Justin Herbert, who's good, and then that defense, Khalil Mack,
That's true. That's true.
they've been doomed ever since
Derwin James.
ever since they stepped out of San Diego.
Another team that needs to just like perform in because they showed it through 11 games of the season, going 8-3. The Jacksonville Jaguars have to learn how to play the second half of the season.
No, they didn't.
I'm not saying that they did. I'm saying for next year that we're talking about next year, not this year. I just said that they have to learn how to play in the second half of the season.
I believe Jacksonville's main problem right now is their defense, not their offense. I think their offense performed fine. I think it was just the defense that kind of dragged them into
T-Law
the dirt.
fell apart. at the
You know,
end of the
you know
season.
what? You
It
know
is
what
true.
team has like a tough decision to make? It's the Indianapolis Colts.
Why?
Stick with it.
Stick with
Anthony
Minshew or
Richardson?
take Richardson.
They have Richardson.
But would you stick with Minshew?
No.
Why
I'm
not?
gonna go back to Richardson. Richardson played fantastic.
They were
for
a
his first couple
yard
of
short
games.
of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
They were, and Minshew didn't achieve what
No,
they needed him to.
that was the running back's fault for not catching the ball.
That's true.
It was
The
a
running
good
back did
ball.
drop
Okay,
that.
and
okay.
he
So
missed
this
it.
goes back. Is this a team game or is it a certain player game? Because you're saying it's the running back's fault, but then when we were talking about Patrick Mahomes, you were like, the only reason Patrick Mahomes was winning or losing was because of his entire team.
Well, sometimes it's a player game, sometimes it is a team game. I mean, I think it's easy with the 49ers. You just run the ball to Chris McCaffrey, do nothing, and let him run the ball because he'll do whatever. And then I think with Mahomes, Tyreek will just run past everybody, or he'll run circles around the cornerback, and he'll finally be open because they'll give up because he's so open, and he'll just score. I think it was that easy for Kansas City, and I think that's why they won the Super Bowl. I think the reason that they lost and they should have gone back to back. They're up 21-3 against the Bengals, and I think they're in the AFC Championship. I only think they left their foot off the gas a little, and just took their foot off the brake. And the Bengals came back and won. And then I think that's when Tyreek Hill decided to leave. After that,
No, because Tyreek Hill said that he was planning to stay in Kansas City until they didn't offer him the contract that he asked for, and then the Dolphins did offer him the contract that he asked for.
I believe you have a good point, but I still think that Kansas City in a whole has a really well-rounded offense. That losing Tyreek Hill clearly wasn't that much of a decipher.
At the beginning of the season, and heck, we can talk about this with Alabama this season. At the beginning of the season, they were still trying to figure things out with their team.
Yeah.
yeah.
Same thing with Bama. Bama had to figure out things with their team when they only won by what was it? 14 points, 17 points to
Against USF.
against USF,
USF.
and then went to the national championship. So,
They didn't
or wait,
go-
no,
they didn't go to the
the
national-
semifinal.
The only reason they didn't
the semifinal.
The only reason they didn't go to the national championship is because of the center.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's.
Bad snaps.
I just
I just think that
think your logic is off.
I just think that this was the first year that he actually did something.
I wanna
Because he plays in the loudest stadium in the NFL. It's easy for him to play, and I feel like it showed this year. He actually had to move around and throw the ball. He couldn't just throw it up to Juju Smith-Schuster or Tyreek Hill. He actually had to move around and throw the ball. You could tell they struggled. They lost to he threw 2 pick sixes against the Raiders on Christmas Day or something. They lost to the Packers. The Packers, who were not even that good, and that's when we got on our hot streak. But I think it showed this year. He actually had to put fight and will to win,
And he did.
and he did. And I think this was the first year that he actually won something.
I guess you could say that, but I still believe that he as a player is now. I don't put him in the GOAT.
I don't
race.
put him in
But
the
let's get off of the topic of Patrick Mahomes. Let's move on to something else. Who do we think draft pick wise is going where? Just within the first 5 picks, who do we think? Could someone pull up the draft
I think
picks?
Caleb Williams is gonna go to Chicago.
I can't get off of this. Can I say something, please?
What?
Go for it, Abe.
You think this is the first year he's actually done stuff?
Yes.
He threw for 4,183 yards this season.
Oh my god.
For 27 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Last season, 5,250 yards.
Because he had Juju.
With 41 touchdowns.
Oh my gosh.
And okay, how many of those touchdowns were Travis Kelce though?
Let's check, shall we? Travis
At least 20,
Kelsey.
At least 20 plus.
Okay, here let's. I understand that this is a heated debate.
At least
12.
He had 12 last season.
He had 12.
I can't.
He had 5 this season
Wait. Okay,
and 9 the season before.
it's okay. That's a good argument. I like the argument, but let's move on to this. Okay, the first 5 picks goes Bears, Washington, Patriots, Arizona, Chargers. Who do you think is going where?
I think it's going to be another situation where it's going to be like a Lamar Jackson situation where the Heisman winner is not going to go early. He's going to be
Who won the Heisman? Was he Williams?
this year?
Yeah.
Jaden
Daniels.
Oh, Jane did. Forgot about that.
But
he wasn't even that.
I agree with that, and I kind of want to say that I don't believe that the Bears will take their next QB. I think they will try to build a super team, and I agree. But
No, y'all got it wrong.
Do you think that they're going to get rid of Justin Fields after the uproar of the Bears fans saying that they want Justin Fields and that he is not the problem?
They don't care about the fans. Oh my God, they were 0-5 to start the season. They lost to the Chiefs by 40 with Justin Fields.
Guess what? Justin Fields hasn't had anybody.
They almost lost to the Panthers.
they didn't, though.
They didn't.
You can't
though.
say they almost. Otherwise, I could say you're an Alabama fan. You almost lost to Auburn, Arkansas. So many teams
South
I could
Florida.
say you almost lost to, but you can't bring that up.
You almost you lost to New Mexico State.
I have an interesting predicament.
Never said anything about that.
So y'all know the comeback player of the year award.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe Flacco.
Should it have gone to DeMar Hamlin?
No.
Why?
DeMar Hamlin is not a good player.
But he died. He literally died on the
But
field.
you
I
have to
think-
be an actually good player to get comeback player of the year. DeMar Hamlin was a backup. He still is a backup.
He died. He was a starter.
I think
No,
Joe
he was
Flacco.
not. He was
Yes,
a
he
backup.
was.
Look it up.
Joe Flacco.
Oh. I just ruined your argument. So
He didn't.
He quite literally died on the field.
He didn't want.
Yeah, he
comeback
did.
player.
He quite literally died on the field.
And he had to go through so many treatments. Joe Flacco said he didn't want it.
While the criteria for the award is imprecise, it is typically given to a player who overcomes the worst adversity to return to play even a single snap.
Yeah, I thought that was stupid.
A
I still think-
singular snap.
I still think that should.
I don't
go
think
to
Joe Flacco
He-
overcame adversity.
He overcame the
died.
Jets. He overcame sitting on his couch and
He
eating
saw-
potato chips.
He saw
Exactly.
Jesus. He saw heaven.
He died, but what did he do for the rest of the season? Tell me what he did. Did you
Sat in
ever
the
see?
hospital. What do you want me to? What do you want me to
I know, but
say?
I'm saying he never did anything after he died.
It said one snap of football. So you're saying the
Because
Jets
he's
is worse
dead.
than death.
Because he's dead,
Yeah.
he can't do
You
it.
can't be serious.
Joe
and in the
Flacco's-
NFL rules.
You
yeah.
can't be serious.
Joe Flacco's adversity was retirement.
Bro literally
can't
came
be
off the
serious.
couch and DeMar Hamlin back down to earth. Quite literally.
Well,
That seems that is all that we have to say today. But I believe that we had good predictions. I think we had a good conversation today. I think
Eagles should have won the Super Bowl.
I think the Packers should have won the Super Bowl.
Get out of here, Greedo. Should we send it off with a harmony?
I think we should send it off with a
All right,
harmony.
all right.
I think that is a good idea. Football.
Football.